and stayed all through the game. But in the end, it's the Phillies who reign. Ricky Pitalico, I'm Michael Barkan. We welcome you to Phillies Postgame Live, presented by our friends at Cure Auto Insurance. 14-3, you're fighting Phillies, Ricky Bo. They've won 8 straight home games. They've won 7 of their last 8 games. 8 of their last 9. They are 23-11 on the season and will likely have complete and total hold on the NL East.
You are so proud of that NL East right now, aren't you?
I sure am, besting the Atlanta Braves.
You know what? They got off to a good start. That's what it's all about, especially with garbage weather like this that you shouldn't really be playing in. I mean, the field was obviously very slick. It was very muddy. It was a mess. And the Phillies got off to a 9-0 lead. I mean, can you ask for anything better? I mean, I will say this much. Keaton Winn was an absolute disaster to start this game off. And the Giants pitching staff as a whole walked the Phillies 10 times. 10 times. Wow. That's giving a lot of free passes. And, I mean, if you think about that first inning, if Castellanos doesn't ground into a double play, that could have been a 10, 12-run inning. Yeah.
First time the Phillies have scored in double digits this season. Let's toss a pass over to the ballpark right now. Check in with the greatest third baseman to ever play the game, Michael Jack Schmidt. All right, Michael Jack, anything else you want to add on? Because you had some wonderful conversation with the guys and with Taryn. It was compelling, especially in a laugher such as tonight.
I think the players, people of the game, were the ground crew and the umpires. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you.
You know, I mean, it's hard to point to one player here, right?
Yeah, that's true, too.
Maybe Ranger. You know, he gets his 6th victory, correct?
Yes, he does. Ranger Suarez, 6-0, ERA of 1.72.
But there is one guy who matched your 17-game hitting streak, and that's Alec Bohm.
That's true.
Let's hope he's all right. But, I mean, what do you like about Alec Bohm's swing?
Oh, I love it. It sprays the ball everywhere. I tell you what, I just came into my head an old-time player is Steve Garvey. Remember him?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
That's what Bohm reminds me of. A little here, a little there, straight up there, over there. Good contact hitter with men on base. Very confident right now. Prediction.
Yes?
Alec Bohm starts at third base for the National League in the All-Star game.
Nice.
Ooh, I like it. It's a great prediction. Any other Philly starters?
Don't tell him I said that or anything. I just want to throw it out there.
He just heard it now.
I'm sure he heard it.
You just told him. You just told him now. He's taking his uniform off. What did Mike Schmidt say?
No. Alec has been in the training room with ice on his hip for the last 2 hours. And he will be at home with it on his hip tonight when he goes to bed. But, you know, I'd like him to have that kind of an attitude about himself. He's that good. He's that good. Sometimes just people tell you how good you are. It makes you better. Mike Rose did it with me.
How hard is it to play on a night like tonight? I mean, I was a pitcher. I didn't care. It was one inning. I could go out there and take as much rain as possible. But, I mean, you have to stand out there in the rain all day. What are your thoughts on that?
You got to keep telling yourself that everything that happens in the game means something, you know, because stats are a big part of baseball, and you learn something from – you may see a pitcher you haven't seen before, so you learn something about him. You know, you may do something at home plate. Oh, I hit a slider to right field for a single. How'd that happen? And you may carry that with you, you know, the rest of the season. Some things that you learn from on these kind of nights. You got to keep thinking that they're there, and you know, keep giving it everything you have. You know, don't take anything for granted. Don't go up to home plate and give away an at bat. A pitcher don't give away an inning because they all count, man. The stats are there no matter what's score in a game. You can't run out the clock in baseball, Ricky. Right?
Yeah.
It's one of the few games. I guess you can't in golf either, but you can't run the clock out in baseball. You got to get them out 27 times.
I agree with you, and they do all count. And Ricky and Ben and Ruben a little bit, they laugh at me because I'm concerned about the Phillies standing in the division. I don't think it's ever too early. I think you can get to the end of September, and you can get it by one game or miss it by one game, and you look back at certain games, you can pick them out. They should have won that one, right, Mike?
Absolutely. There's probably 15 or 20 of those kind of games throughout the year where one run, one play decides the game. And then when you get into September, and you're looking for that 98th win to get home field advantage or something like that, I don't think the players look at it this way, but we all can think back to a game that they should have won if this happened or that happened, and that's why they play 162. And if the concentration is there the entire year, that one game or two game thing will swing your way and boost you to the to that home field advantage game.
Give me your take. I'm sorry, I thought you were done. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm done.
Your take on Keaton Wynn, the starter for San Francisco, and you look at this is the start for the Phillies. Schwarber walks, Real Muto walks, Harper singles, Bohm hit by pitch, Marsh singles, Castellanos double play, but then Stott picks it up again. He singles. Sosa, you got the whole thing in black and white. What are you saying to each other as players in the dugout when I love the smile, when you are going against a pitcher like Keaton Wynn threw it tonight, or didn't, rather?
Well, well, least to say is he had a rough night. I mean, he, like Ricky said earlier, I mean, he was all over the place and walked us 10 times, as you said, Ricky, and I mean, it was over after the first inning. It was over after the 9-0, even though it did end up 9-3. But the game was over early, and well, the young man came in with 3-3 record and a fairly low ERA. So I mean, I was looking for a lot more from him.
Yeah, and it went up a run and a half almost.
Absolutely,
1.5 runs. That's what happens when you go against these Phillies.
Well, tomorrow we won't remember tonight, right?
That's true. That's true, and that's how we have to live it. That's how the Phillies have to do it.
Beautiful thing.
And I think they will.
Beautiful thing about
baseball. It really is. There's a great Joe Garagiola quote, and Ricky's sick and tired of me saying it, but I love this quote, and it goes something like, baseball gives you every chance to be great, but it puts on the pressure to show you haven't got what it takes. It never takes away the chance, and it never eases up on the pressure. And that's the essence of this great game, isn't it?
Damn. That's beautiful.
All right, we're done.
Beautiful, man.
You know what? I'm ending the show. That's it. Done.
Cut. Did you really end the show?
I'm out of here.
I didn't. Take me to the car. No, I didn't.
I'll see you guys later.
I'll see you later. All
Mike.
right, Michael Jack. You're the greatest. Mike Schmidt joining us. He is awesome. He's got the score sheet. Look at these numbers from tonight's game, racking up the wins indeed. 23-11. Best record in Major League Baseball. They lead the Braves by 1 game in the East. Best start to the season since 2011, and that was the last season when they had that 5-season run of postseasons, including a World Championship and another pennant, and they were 23-11 that year through 34 games. 15-3 record in their last 18 games, and they've won 8 consecutive home games. Ricky Bo, I'm not saying
pretty
the
good,
schedule's
right?
not going to. It is pretty good, right? I'm not saying the schedule's not going to get tougher, because we know it is, but we also know you can only play you can play, and they're building the wins up now.
I'm going to throw something out there.
Ricky Bo.
Yeah, the schedule can get quote-unquote tougher, but how do you know that you're not the toughest?
You're right.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, you've beaten up on some teams, but you've taken complete advantage of those teams. You look at the Rockies. You look at the Chicago White Sox when they come in. They're not holding any prisoners. They're beating the daylights out of these teams like you should. Okay, there have been. You can go as far as you want in the past. You could pick out a team that was even in the Phillies division where they probably should have had a better record against that team, against said team.
Mm-hmm.
That it's a little different this year. I think the Phillies are sitting there looking at teams and saying, you know what, we should roll over this, guys. Let's actually do it now.
Yeah.
And that's why I said maybe the Phillies are the beast. And Wilmer Flores hit it into the seats, but Ranger. The only thing that I saw was different tonight is that his tempo was different, but that was brought about because of the weather, because of the long innings by the Phillies offense the first couple innings. Other than that, you know what? I hate to tell you, gave up 3 runs in 6 innings.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
6-0, 1.72. He came in 5-0 with a 1.32. And the guy, his ERA goes up, Ricky. I mean, come on.
What do you want it to do?
I want it to go down to 0. But in all seriousness,
who knows? They might call that home run an error someday. I don't know.
through 6 starts, 1.72 ERA is pretty darn good. And we talked pregame about Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola, and Ranger Suarez, and you called him 1, A, B, and C, and I said maybe he's B. And no disrespect to Aaron Nola, but that's how well he's pitching.
Well, at some point you do get taken over by somebody, and if you're Aaron Nola, okay, so what? I mean, he's going to still pitch in that number 2 slot no matter what. And I look at it this way. When Ranger Suarez is on, when his tempo is on, and when he's using his fastball to set up his curveball and his changeup, there may be none better. I mean, he is a pitcher through and through. He doesn't throw 98 miles an hour, so if he does make mistakes like you saw tonight, made a mistake out over the middle of the plate, it got hit out of the ballpark. That is going to happen at certain times during the year. He had some leeway in this game, and I think he kind of pitched that way. Sometimes when you don't have those leads is when you bear down, you tend to go right to where you want to throw that ball, and you throw your pitches with conviction. I didn't see that the whole time with Ranger tonight. I thought he kind of, I don't know. I don't know what the word is, but he was not on point tonight.
Rob Thompson addresses that post-game clubhouse.
Yeah, it's just right hip flexor tightness. Feels a lot better. It was really precaution more than anything. He should be able to go tomorrow. We'll check on him, but he should be able to go tomorrow.
Was there any thought at any point of taking Ranger out a little early tonight just because of the conditions?
No, he was in pretty good shape, and I was proud of him. It's tough to pitch in those conditions, one. And then we had a couple of really long innings where he had to sit down for a long time, and he came right back out and threw strikes. He was 20 of 27 first pitch strikes. I thought he was crisp. I thought he was good. So, yeah, no, not really.
When you say those conditions, do you mean the weather or the big league?
Maybe a little bit of both, yeah. But it's really tough for a pitcher to sit down as long as he did, back-to-back innings, and then go back out there and throw strikes. You don't see it very often. He did it. Yeah, the one swing where he kind of slipped in the box, yeah. But he's fine.
Was it kind of worrisome to watch your guys out? I mean, you talk a lot about health and spring training
throughout
the season,
it is.
Conditions. Yeah,
it is. I mean, the conditions were bad, but playable in my mind, and would rather get through the game, and not just because we won, but double headers concern me too, because you're adding innings and a lot of innings in one day for a lot of guys. So I'm glad we got it in.
Obviously, it was fine, but when you want to check on Ranger, did he just slip on that pitch?
Yeah, he just slipped, and it looked like he was kind of hobbling, but he was fine.
So because you didn't use Sanchez tonight,
he'll start Tuesday. Yeah.
And Turnbull
goes to the pen tomorrow on full rest. So. Everything really, 12 hits, 10 walks. We scored 5 runs in the first inning without an extra base hit, and you don't really see that. So that tells you the quality of the at-bats. And then come right back in the second inning, put 4 more up. That was pretty impressive. I thought we had good at-bats up and down the lineup tonight. That was really good.
Just how well are you guys playing right now? I mean, nothing seems to bother this team right now.
Yeah, we're playing well. We're getting good pitching and timely hitting, on any given night. The last game in Los Angeles, we had 18 strikeouts, but we found a way to win, and we're doing that right now. And we're getting different people contributing every night, which is good, and that's a sign of a good team. But we just have to keep it going. We have to stay humble and just keep grinding out games.
Stott was one of those guys who had a lot of good at-bats tonight. Have you been seeing more of what you want to see out of him the last few games?
Yeah, I have, and for the last little bit too, he's hit the ball hard a lot and hadn't gotten anything to show for it. So he's putting together some really good at-bats in the last week.
Problem, so I'm not really that concerned about it. So, I mean, you just move on from this one. You hope he's back tomorrow.
How concerned is Alec about it? Here's Alec Bohm in the clubhouse.
I'm good. I've played through much worse. It's nothing really I'm concerned about.
So you expect to be out there tomorrow?
I do, yeah.
And you just felt it on that swing where you kind of slipped a little bit?
Yeah. Nothing crazy. It's just, with the conditions, score of the game and all that, I understand that there's no need, so it is what it is, but I'm not worried about it or nothing like that.
That day when you guys lose Trey for a little bit and then you're out, you guys come up 14 runs. What's it like to see the offense and everyone pitching in still?
Yeah, I mean, that's what, we're a deep team. We're confident in pretty much everybody that walks up to that box, so, to be able to, keep it rolling and put up a day like that it's a pretty good pitching staff over there, so, to be able to still string hits together, not really hit a bunch of home runs and score runs that way, but just, take our walks, hit our singles, and, keep the line moving. It's just another way we can get it done.
It's always a good idea to start fast, obviously, but in nasty conditions like that, is it even extra important to get up on a team like that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you never know out there, right? A guy can slip going for a ball's soaked. You never know with any of the throws and bounces, anything like that. So yeah, I mean, every out's a tough out in a game like that. So, you're definitely looking to get every run you can, for sure.